My GF said, "I'm not going to break contact with my ex," I answered. "Then I'll keep moving ahead by myself." After that, I accepted the promotion in London, packed my things, and let her remain stuck in her ex's drama instead of creating a life with me, all while I watched to see if she'd even notice that I was walking away. My GF said, "I'm not going to break contact with my ex." She didn't whisper it. She didn't hesitate. She said it while stirring her coffee, like she was talking about the weather. The spoon clinked against the ceramic, steady, casual, like nothing important had just shattered. I watched her face, waiting for a crack. Regret, guilt, anything. Nothing came. Her phone lit up on the table between us. His name flashed across the screen. She didn't turn it over. She didn't need to. The message preview was enough. "Miss you." My chest tightened, but my voice didn't. "Then I'll keep moving ahead by myself," I said. She shrugged, like I was optional, replaceable, already gone. In that moment, something inside me didn't break. It went quiet. Not weak quiet, decided quiet, because she thought I would stay and compete for a place that was already mine. She didn't realize I was already leaving. I wasn't a loud person. I never had been. I was the one who stayed steady while everything else shifted. The one who listened more than he spoke. The one who fixed problems quietly so no one had to see the damage. She used to say that's what she loved about me, that I felt safe. We met 3 years earlier, when neither of us had anything figured out. She had chaos in her eyes back then. Unfinished sentences, restless dreams. I had structure, plans, direction. I thought I could give her stability. She made me believe stability was enough. I built my life carefully, one promotion at a time, one late night after another. While others chased attention, I chased progress. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't dramatic. I was dependable. But dependable people become invisible. She started taking my presence for granted in ways so small they almost felt accidental. Cancelled plans, half-listened conversations, her attention drifting somewhere else while I was still speaking. And then there was him, the ex who never fully left. The ghost she never buried. She told me not to worry. And I didn't. Not because I trusted him. Because I trusted myself. I knew my value. I just hadn't realized yet that she didn't. It didn't happen all at once. It happened in pieces small enough to ignore if you wanted to protect the illusion. She started smiling at her phone more. Not the absent-minded kind. The private kind. The kind that didn't belong to the person sitting across from her. Sometimes I'd ask, "What's funny?" She'd lock the screen before answering. "Nothing. Just a friend." Just a friend. One night, we were watching a movie on my couch. Her head rested on my shoulder, but her fingers kept moving across her phone. The screen reflected in the dark window in front of us. His name again. She angled the phone away, but it was too late. She knew I saw it. I knew she knew. Neither of us said anything. That silence said everything. Another time, she cancelled dinner plans we'd had for weeks. She texted me an hour before. Something came up. Later that night, she posted a photo. Not with him. Just a familiar restaurant, a familiar table. A detail only I would recognize. When I saw her the next day, she kissed me like nothing had happened. Her lips were warm. Her distance was colder than ever. She thought small betrayals didn't count. She didn't realize they were teaching me how to leave. The email arrived on a Tuesday morning. I almost ignored it. My inbox was always full. Requests, deadlines, things that needed fixing. But the subject line held a word that made me pause. London. I opened it slowly. They were offering me the promotion, executive position, international relocation, everything I had spent years working toward, quietly, patiently, while no one was watching. I stared at the screen, reading it twice, not because I didn't understand it, because I understood exactly what it meant. That evening, I told her. She was sitting beside me, scrolling again, always scrolling. "I got the London offer," I said. She looked up briefly. "That's far. Not I'm proud of you. Not that's amazing. Just distance, measurement, inconvenience." Her phone buzzed. She looked back down instantly. Conversation over. That was the moment. Not loud, not dramatic. Clear. I saw my entire future in 2 directions. One where I stayed and slowly became smaller beside someone who couldn't see me. And one where I stepped into the life I had earned. She didn't ask if I would take it. She assumed I wouldn't. That assumption was the last thing she ever gave me. And it was the first thing that set me free. I accepted the offer the next morning. No announcement. No dramatic declaration. Just a signed contract and a quiet confirmation email. The relocation team moved efficiently. They handled visas, housing, logistics. Years of consistent performance had built a reputation that spoke louder than any argument I could have made. People trusted me to move forward. I didn't tell her right away. Not out of cruelty. Out of clarity, I started separating my life from hers in ways she wouldn't notice. I removed my name from shared subscriptions, redirected my mail, packed documents first, degrees, certificates. The physical proof of every year I had invested in becoming someone harder to replace. She never asked why I was organizing things. She assumed permanence. At night, while she texted him beside me, I researched London streets, the quiet neighborhoods, the early morning cafes, the life waiting for me. I wasn't running from her. I was stepping toward myself. I stopped arguing, stopped questioning, stopped reacting. Absence begins long before someone physically leaves. By the time my departure date was confirmed, I had already detached from the version of me that needed her to choose me. This wasn't revenge fueled by anger. It was built on indifference, and indifference is irreversible. I left on a Thursday morning while she was still asleep. The apartment was quiet except for the soft hum of the refrigerator and her steady breathing behind the bedroom door. My suitcase stood beside me, lighter than I expected. Not because there was less inside it, because there was less holding me back. I paused for a moment, looking around the living room, the couch where we had planned futures, the window where she used to wait for sunsets with me before her attention belonged somewhere else. I placed my key on the table, not hidden, not dramatic, visible, honest. Then I walked out, no note, no explanation. At the airport, everything felt strangely calm. People rushed past me, chasing departures, clinging to things they weren't ready to release. I wasn't one of them. Hours later, my phone vibrated as the plane landed. Her name, one missed call, then another, then a message. "Where are you?" I didn't answer. Instead, I stepped into the cool London air, breathed deeply, and turned my phone face down. For the first time in years, she was the one left behind, and I was already gone. At first, her messages were practical. "Did you go somewhere? Why aren't you answering?" Then they became slower, longer. "Did I do something wrong?" I didn't respond. Not because I wanted her to suffer, because there was nothing left to explain. A week later, I updated my professional profile. New title, new city, new beginning. The responses came quickly. Colleagues, mentors, people who had watched me work in silence for years. "Well deserved. Proud of you. You earned this." Recognition felt different when it wasn't forced. One evening, her name appeared again. Not a call this time. Just a single message. "You could have told me." I stared at it for a moment. She was right. I could have. But she had already been told. Through every ignored conversation, every divided glance, every moment she chose someone else's presence over mine. She just hadn't believed I would act on it. Mutual friends reached out too, surprised. Some said she seemed quieter now, distracted, like she was waiting for something that had already passed. And that's when I understood the truth. People don't notice your value when you're always there. They notice it in your absence. Not because you made noise when you left, but because you stopped making yourself small so they could feel comfortable. London didn't change me. It revealed me. Mornings began earlier here. The city moved with purpose. And for the first time in a long while, I felt aligned with that rhythm. I walked to work past unfamiliar streets that slowly started to feel like mine. No memories attached. No emotional debts waiting in the corners. Just space. I stopped checking my phone as often. Her name eventually moved lower in my messages, then disappeared entirely. Not because I forced myself to forget, because I no longer needed to remember. I realized something I hadn't understood before. Closure isn't something someone gives you. It's something you build when you stop waiting for them to become who you needed. She had chosen familiarity. I had chosen growth. There was no anger left, no victory to prove, just quiet respect for the version of myself who finally walked away without asking for permission. Sometimes leaving isn't about showing someone your worth. It's about finally seeing it yourself. And the day I stopped wondering whether she noticed I was gone was the day I understood I never needed her to.